Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 15 is entitled as Purushottama Vidya, Purushottama Yogam. Sloka 16. Imau puruṣau loke, kṣaraś cākṣara eva ca, kṣaraś sarvāṇi bhūtāni, kūṭa-stho kṣara ucyate. The previous sloka that we learned is an introduction to the current sloka and the upcoming slokas to convey that Krishna is the Purushottama, that he is Uttama Puruṣau, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Over there, we learned Krishna to be known only through the Vedas. Krishna alone, the object of knowledge of the Vedas. Vedas speak only of Krishna. Krishna is situated in everyone's heart. Krishna is the bestower of all the fruits for everyone's action. And Krishna is the one who is the knower of Vedas. Therefore Krishna is saying, learn from me alone, who knows the essence of the Vedas. This chapter is focused on the Supreme Being, Purushottama, Krishna. This is said in all other scriptures as well. This is what is said in all other scriptures. Now, when it says the Lord is Purushottama, does it mean he is Purushottama among the Puruṣas, or he is Purushottama who is greater than all the other Puruṣas? The Lord is Uttama among all the Puruṣas, and he is different from all the Puruṣas as well. Say, a well-known businessman, he may be great among the people, among the society, but still is one among the human society. In that sense, everyone is human, therefore he is not any better than the other human. So here, the Lord is greater, Uttamam, when compared to all the Puruṣas, but not only that, he is also different from all the Puruṣas. Just because an object or someone is different from the other object doesn't necessarily mean that particular object is greater than the other object. It could also be equal, or it could also be lesser than the other object because of the differences. Here, the Lord is greater than all the vastus, all the objects. We have already learned that everything can be categorized into two. One is Achit, another one is Chit. That which is sentient is called Chit, that which is non-sentient are called Achit. So this Prakriti is Achit and the living entities are Chit. This Chit again has three divisions: Baddhatma, Muktatma and Nityatma. Baddhatmas are conditioned souls in this Prakriti, and Muktatmas are liberated souls who are freed from this Prakriti. Nityatmas are eternally liberated souls who are always present in the spiritual world. In this sloka, sloka number 16, Krishna has picked two of the Atmas category. One is Baddhatma and Muktatma. Here, he explained the difference between the Baddhatma and Muktatma. And in the following slokas, he establishes how he is greater than any of these Atmas. So these set of slokas 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 are considered to be the Purushottama Vidya. Now let's understand the meaning of the sloka. Kṣaraś, fallible, perishable, that is Baddhatmas. the embodied souls, the conditioned souls, those who are associated with the Prakriti, with the perishable body, they are called as kṣara, akṣaraṣ, and infallible, imperishable. Here, muktātmas are mentioned, one who is not associated with the perishable body, with the Prakriti. In other words, one who is associated with the imperishable body in the spiritual world. Muktātma means those who are liberated from this Prakriti. Baddhātma means those who are entangled in this Prakriti. Kṣaraḥ, these Baddhātmas goes through the changes, whereas the Muktātma are not affected by any changes. Baddhātmas are part of the samsara tree, whereas akṣara, Muktātmas are not part of the samsara tree. The kṣaras, who are Baddhātmas, goes through jnana vikara. Jnana vikara means there are ups and downs in their jnana, whereas in akṣaras there is no jnana vikara. So, kṣaras are those who are associated with the perishable body, whereas akṣaras are those who are associated with the imperishable body. In other words, they are not associated with the perishable body which is made of Prakriti. Something to be noted here, whether a Jivatma is in this world or it got liberated and in spiritual world, in both cases, they have bodies. Over here, there is no choice whether to have body or not to have body. The conditioned souls are forced to have a body. Over there in the spiritual world, the liberated souls has a choice to take bodies, the bodies that they like to have. That means they also have body here, they can also have body over there. But the common thing between the bodies that they get is both are achit. They are non-sentient. Just because it is in spiritual world doesn't mean the body becomes chit. Still, the body that's obtained in the spiritual world is also achit, like the bodies of this world, the Prakriti, the material world. But there is a big difference between the bodies of this world and bodies of the spiritual world. The bodies that we obtain, we get in this world are Mishra Sattva, whereas the body that we obtain in the spiritual world is Shuddha Sattva. Shuddha Sattva means there is no mix of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. It is purely Sattva Guna alone, whereas Mishra Sattva means the body that we get here are always mixed with Rajoguna and Tamoguna. It is not Sattva Guna alone. All these three are present in the body that we have in this world. We have discussed this one when we did the 6th Sloka, part 3. The reason that the Muktātma takes the body is for the purpose of serving the Lord over there. But Baddhātma takes the body not based on its will, like Muktātma, but out of force, out of his previous karma, that they get body. Therefore, this body is Mishra Sattvam, mix of 3 gunas, whereas the body in the spiritual world is Shuddha Sattvam, that which is free of mix of gunas. Imau, these dvāv eva puruṣau, only 2 kinds of persons. Loke. Loke generally means the world, and that is how it's been translated here as well for ease purpose. But loke also means that by which truth is perceived, that is, the means of knowledge which reveals them. This is nothing but Shabda Pramanam. It is through the Shabda Pramanam that we understand that there are two kinds of beings are there. One is kṣara, another one is akṣara. Loke, lokayati aneneti lokaha. That by which truth is perceived is called loka. This is how it's been interpreted by both Ramanujacharya and Baladev Vidyabhushan. It is better to interpret this in this way rather saying well known in the world, that is, fallible and infallible are well known in this world, because in this world they are not well known. We don't know who's fallible and who's infallible. If these two were popular, then almost all people should have known about them. And if it is known, then in that case there would have been no need for Krishna to teach about these kṣara and akṣara over here. Sarvāṇi bhūtāni, all the living entities yoked to material bondage. Sarvāṇi bhūtāni includes every living entity, starting from Brahma to a worm or a blade of grass. They are all embodied selves, conditioned soul. Let's continue the meaning. kṣaraḥ belong to the class of kṣara, kūṭa-stho, in oneness. What it means that those selves devoid of the variation that arise from bodily connection. We will see this more in detail later. But in short, those who does not go through variation that arises from the body, like human, devata, gandharva, yaksha, pashu, pakshi, they are called kūṭa-stho. That is to say, muktatma, the akṣara, is above all these differences that caused by the prakriti, by the body. Because the kṣaras always goes through this variation within the body and one body to another body. And therefore, the kṣaras cannot be mentioned as kūṭa-stho. It is akṣaras who are kūṭa-stho. But one may ask a question. Just now we saw that even muktatma has a body in the spiritual world, and we also have body in this world. Does the body that they obtain in the spiritual world does not go through changes like the changes happen to the bodies of this world? Answer is no, because over there it is obtained through the will of the liberated soul, and they are of Shuddha Sattva. Over here it is because of one's karma, and the body is of Mishra Sattva. Therefore, the Muktatma's bodies are free of Vishesha Sharira, meaning different types of bodies as human, devata, and so forth. Akṣara ucyate is said to belong to the class called Akṣara. Translation: there are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is called infallible. In this sloka, we saw the connection from the previous sloka. We learned the word by word meaning and the translation. The idea behind this sloka, where Krishna is mentioning these two types of beings, the perishable and imperishable, kṣara and akṣara, is to convey and establish that he, Krishna, is above all of these entities, and he is different from all these entities. Therefore, he is Purushottama. In our next session, we'll see the details of this sloka. Namaste. Hare Krishna.